Welcome to The C Show. I'm your host, Chinadu Anoha, and here on The C Show, I just like to talk about the crazy world of WWE, some of the crazy and interesting superstars that make it up, some things I like to see happen in the future, and maybe just an episode on the greatest wrestler of all time, John Cena. Welcome back to another episode of The C Show. This episode is a long one coming. I wanted it. Everybody's wanted it. It's even in the intro. Today, we're going to be doing an episode about John Cena. Specifically, my favorite John Cena moments. Starting off, we have John Cena's win against The Rock at WrestleMania 29 for the WWE Championship. Now, let me take y'all back, man. All the way back to 2013. This was my first grade year, and I had been watching wrestling for about a year or two before this title match, and I was heavily invested in John Cena. I remember right before the match started, I always used to just go on YouTube and then see John Cena, The Rock promos, like the build-ups for them. I used to just be so sad thinking about how John Cena lost at WrestleMania 28. And I actually believed that because he lost at WrestleMania 28 against The Rock, that his wife divorced him. Man, what it would do to be a kid again and believe in it. So I was just watching, and I just saw all these times that he failed. Failed against Dolph Ziggler for the Money in the Bank contract, I think. He failed against CM Punk to cash in. All of this. It just boiled up for me. And then when I saw it in the build-up that he won the Royal Rumble, I used to get so happy. And then the promos against him and The Rock, man, I used to just love it. And then it all culminated into WrestleMania 29. This is my first WrestleMania and my first WWE pay-per-view, because I was at my aunt's house, and they were also big wrestling fans, and she bought the pay-per-view, and we watched it, we had fun, and then we got to the main event with John Cena and The Rock. And when John Cena won, and I tell you, I was so happy, that would be an understatement. That was probably the best moment of my life, and I remember it. It was the best moment of my life, and I just couldn't get over it, even when I was at school. I just loved it. It was amazing. Moving on about 4 to 5 years later, we have John Cena's 16th world title win at Royal Rumble 2017. Weird fact about me. How I remember my WrestleMania, how I remember my grade levels when I was in these grades is when WrestleMania was. So like, say for instance, I want to go back to WrestleMania. I want to go back to my 5th grade year. I would say, so WrestleMania 35 was happening when I was in 7th grade. WrestleMania 34 happened when I was in 6th grade. And then WrestleMania 33 happened when I was in 5th grade. So that was the WrestleMania. That Royal Rumble was the lead up to that WrestleMania. So I was in 5th grade at the time, and I was still invested in the product, but I wasn't as invested when I was a little kid. But that was the highlight of my year, because it was John Cena, my favorite wrestler of all time, winning his 16th world title win. That title win tied him with Ric Flair for the most world title wins in WWE. Now, I know some people would be like, oh, but Ric Flair actually has more because he won more. He won outside of WWE. We're only counting the ones that WWE has said he's won. I was just so ecstatic when that happened. It was a great match with him and AJ Styles. Him and AJ Styles tore the house down. I loved that match. I particularly loved the ending. I still remember it to this day. AJ Styles coming for the phenomenal forearm. John Cena picks him up while he's in the middle of jumping off the rope. He picks him up, throws him down for the AA, And you think he's done. But no, he took him and he rolled over with him and then picked him up, AA'd him again. That is one of my favorite things. Just one of my favorite moves he's ever done. He covers him 1, 2, 3. He wins this world tip. He wins the 16th world title, and then the crowd goes crazy. I loved it. One of my favorite things that entire year. But unfortunately, it only ended a month later. And to top it all off, we have John Cena's return at Money in the Bank 2021. It was right after Roman Reigns versus Edge. A match that I liked, by the way, because I'm a Roman Reigns fan. I love this title reign. Wish he was still champion. But let's not get into that. Let's just go back to 2021, Money in the Bank. Roman Reigns had just finished his match with Edge, and then he's going on about how everybody is finally able to acknowledge him, and then John Cena's music hits. Dun, 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 dun. Da, 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 da. When I tell you, I screamed in excitement when that moment happened, because I didn't know he was gonna return. People were talking about him returning to the show. I was like, he's not gonna return. He has something to do in Hollywood. But he ended up returning, and I just went crazy. I didn't know what to do the entire night. My night was just changed. I couldn't go to sleep for a bit. I was just so excited. John Cena came back. And this was back in 2021. I was 15 when this match happened. So I was way past the point where I was invested in the product. So, but that was the first time in a while, and the last time in a while that I have been excited while watching wrestling. Man, I love John Cena. Thanks for listening to The C Show. Before you go, show us some love by leaving a review, and stay excited because next week we're going to be talking about some changes I like to see to WWE and maybe some things that they should bring back.